We are back in the shop today, guys. We've got lots of stuff going on. We got to do an oil change on 990 today. We're going to take a little further look into this 1194. We're going to pull the lifters out, clean them, inspect them, put them back in. And we got another project. Dad picked this one up. This is one of his. This is a 600 Case-O-Matic. We bought 3 of these this summer. Well, this is the only one that'll move under its own power. The other 2 were in a pile. The guy bought one, ran it for years. The guy bought another one to fix the first one he had, and then switched the engine out, and it still had an engine, what he thought was an engine knock, and he thinks it's a transmission issue now. And then he kind of gave up on him. He had a bunch of other tractors he used too, so it wasn't his main. He had a 511. He had an F12, I think, actually, or an F14. He had a 730 that was really nice. It sold. That was like this fall, I believe it was, fall of 23. This tractor here was purchased off a guy who buys stuff at scrap price and tries to save it from the scrapyard, and if nobody wants it, well, he scraps it. Well, we wanted to save it, so we bought it off of him. No fenders, rough tin. The wiring's about as bad as it gets. It's the only thing it's missing is a household light switch to be a complete Jimmy-rigged wiring system. I mean, there's... What kind of special wires are those? They're like going pew. They're like fireworks wires. We got... That might be original. It might have been extension cord at one time. Oh, she's got automatic advanced retard there, guys. On the foot throttle, you run the foot throttle, and it turns your distributor for you with the spring. It's not good. Sheet metal's rough, but we have sheet metal off our pile of tractors. We're gonna try to make 2 good ones out of the 3 sort of tractors. Once were 3 tractors. Tie rod's bent. The inching pedal / clutch is not, something's wrong. There was a garage door spring on there doing, I'm not sure what. Carburetor likes to not carburate, it likes to just fill up and dump gas out everywhere. It's got the, I have a dirty fuel tank, but I'm not about to fix it filter on it. With the extra loop, and the hose clamp didn't even get tightened. She's rough. She's got good tires. I think they're Titans. 13.9, 36. I think they're Titans. They're just like the ones on the one that's outside. They are too dirty to read. They got the wheel weights. They got the sunburst wheels, which I really like. Hi, Dottie. It's snowing outside, isn't it? I know. I don't like it either. It was nice there for a couple days. It was like 45, 50. It was almost 60 the one day. And then we're back to snow and rain again. I know. I'll brush the snow off your head. So, this is the factory top link setup down here. This is actually a pretty well welded up some sort of top bracket. I mean, it's not the prettiest welds, but it ain't bad at all. I wouldn't complain too much about that. Nice 3-pass there. I don't know what that's for. Those are all bent up, but those are an easy part to make. This one not as much because there's a bunch of threads on it, but we got a machine that can do that if we get to that point. It's interesting. So now that the oil's drained on this, I took the plastic pressure washer off of the drain plug. It was cracked. It's getting new felt one. This is supposed to take 1 1/8 wrench, but it's a little sloppy on this one, as you can see. Why? Somebody got in there with channel locks or a crescent wrench or something at some point. We're putting Traveler 1540 oil in this one. We're doing fuel filters too, but Dad's going to do those later. I'm just doing the oil here real quick. Another neat feature on these, so you want to pull your oil fill plug, which is on your timing cover by your injector pump. You want to pull that off when you're draining your oil, so it can suck all the oil down out and it's not glugging and taking forever. The thread of this lid is the same thread pitch as a washer fluid jug, at least here in the States. The washer fluid jugs that we get. So what I'll normally do is I will go find a half-empty washer fluid jug, because there's always one that you can't get all of it in there, and I go throw it in my truck or my car or mom's truck or mom's car, dad's truck, whatever, throw it in something, because there's always room later when you're putting washer fluid in, and I will rinse it out, cut it off, and use that for funnel, because it will hold itself in there. We're going to clean off the bottom of the drain pan or drain plug hole here. And it's just about done dripping. Make sure your drain plugs are tight, guys. Now for the filter. The filter on these is a little canister there. It will make a mess. Get your bucket over here. There are O-rings that go on here that come in the boxes, I believe. You gotta make sure there's not more than one in there. Because that's bad. If there's more than one, it will leak and not filter properly. You need something to smack that with that's soft. Hammer handle, that'll do. Do a gentle little, there it is. So there's the filter. In this groove here, there's an O-ring, and there should only be one O-ring. If there's two O-rings, it's not good. Tip that like that and let that drain into the bucket. Let's take a towel. We're fancy today, we're using blue ones. And wipe this out good. No shiny dust, no glitter, and then pick that out of there. It is. And that's the sound you want to hear. There's only one in there. That's good. Then we've got the square edged ring. Boop, don't need that. Quick wipe. Again. Push a new ring in, and we're going to put a little bit of oil on it, just like you would on a regular oil filter. You put a little bit of fresh oil on the seal on the top. You do the same thing with these. Just give them a little wipe around. Helps them be a little more flexible and seal better. And you just kind of work that around like that. There you go. We're going to tighten the filter out. So on this isn't like a car filter where you, like a spin-on, where you just use the wrench to take it off and snug it up by hand. You want to get this relatively tight, but you don't want to like cut through the O-ring or crush the canister. So just a good bit of snug there, not like crazy tight. Go ahead and turn the filter and the O-ring away. Done with those. Now I'm going to go get the washer fluid jug. So there's my funnel. I'll lean you guys up a little bit so you can see a little better what we're doing. And the oil fill on these isn't like the earlier tractors, which was the dipstick. They have actually put it on the timing cover and made a small dipstick hole. And that screws right in there. I rinsed that out and I wiped it out with a paper towel. This is supposed to take 7.8 quarts, I think. So we've got 2 partial jugs. Nice thing about this funnel is you can put a lot of stuff in the funnel and then walk away while it runs down. But it goes down pretty quick. So while I've been waiting for the oil to go down into the pan in that, I went ahead and pulled the lifters out of here. Now you'll notice there's only 5 of them. The front one, Dad couldn't get his fingers around this corner because it's back in here. He couldn't get his fingers in there to put an O-ring on it. So when he pulled the cam out, he was just fighting one of them. And I don't know where he put it. It's out. I just don't know where it is. I looked around real quick, couldn't find it. Said, okay, he's got it somewhere safe where he knows where it is. I hope. It'll be all right. But I cleaned up the other 5 here, despite the little bit of dog hair that got stuck on that one. Tiny little scratch there. The inside looks good. Tiny little scratch on top from where that push rod came off the side. That was this hole that the push rod was bent because it had come loose. That's exactly what happened there. Again, the bottom of that looks perfectly normal. And we'll go through the rest of these. A little bit of oil stain on the top of that one. Side looks good. Again, I didn't wipe these perfectly clean, but I just gave them a quick wipe down. And a little bit of dirt on the bottom, but not bad at all. Same thing kind of goes through the rest of these. So, unless there's something really funky on that first one. Yeah, I picked up some dirt off the head or the deck from that one. But nothing really out of the ordinary there. Now we get to get all the oil and crud, all just crud everywhere off of that. But back to this, because it should be drained down by now. And if not, I'm just going to dump some more oil in it and do this again. We're on the stick now, but we're below safe still. So that's the oil change on that. Really nothing special or fancy on this one other than the custom funnel you guys can make at home. And then if you have more David Brown, save it, because you can use it on any of them that have this style filler neck, which should be like a later 1210, 1410, and any of the 94, the small David Brown built 94 series. I don't think they work on the cases, but we haven't had a case built 94 series or 90 series even yet. I'd like to get one because they're really cool. I'd love to have like a 3394 or 3594 big 4-wheel drive thing. That'd be cool. But that's all it is. Dad's going to do the fuel filters, and he's going to use 2 different ones because these are I don't know what color they are, but these ones are a lighter colored filter, and you can write the date you change the filter. See, these are a gray, like silver color, and those are white. So you can write the date you changed the filter on it and then go back later and see, hey, I changed this a year ago, or hey, this has been 5 years, or oh no, there's no Sharpie on here, I haven't changed this one yet since we've had it. The story on this tractor, this tack is the original tack. 1,000.4 hours ever on this whole tractor. I was under the impression that we put a new tack in it when we redid it. No, that's the original tack. So what happened was the farmer that had this had 750 or some hours on it. He bought it new. He died. Tractor went to his brother's house. Sat outside behind brother's garage for 20 plus years. Motor got stuck in the process of sitting. We bought it, and it had a loader on it. We bought all the implements and stuff. And it had been painted Fordson colors, if I remember right. It was like blue and orange or something goofy that somebody painted it since then. And when we got it, we sold the implements off it, sold the loader off it because we didn't really need them. And it was like a 6-foot back blade, which really isn't much good for us, and a little flail mower, which there's too many pieces of fence wire around in the woods around here to be able to use a flail mower very good. And you always find fence wire, like no matter where you go, there's always a piece of fence wire stuck on something. So flail mowers are bad around here. And I think there was a brush hog too, and we might have kept it for a while and then wore it out or something. So we went through 40 over bore on the engine, had the injector pump rebuilt a couple years later, and we had it tuned up a little bit while we were in there because we have more displacement. It can take more fuel. It's not going to hurt it because they use the same transmission and the same block up to 219 cubes, and then turboed it, and it was still okay. So they were pushing 80, 85 horsepower out of some of the 1410s. And I've heard of guys now that have them up to 120 for pulling and stuff. But the tractor will take it. It's not, an extra 10 horsepower is not going to hurt it any from the pump tune-up. The rear tires, they're 18 426s. They are off of a 4400 John Deere combine, I think. But the dishes were turned the wrong way. So Dad cut them out and welded them back in. And they actually run really straight. And we do all kinds of stuff with this tractor. Spread fertilizer. We're working on putting an extension on our hopper while it's in here. We've baled a lot of hay with it, baled a lot of straw with it. Pull wagons around. Cultipacked for a year with it. We planted all the wheat this year with it. It's just a good, handy, all-around tractor. It's got the power to do some of the bigger tractor things, and it's got the weight to do some of the bigger tractor things, but it's also nimble enough, being it's a small tractor, and short enough you can get it into some of the tighter spaces and smaller fields and stuff. So it's a really handy little tractor, and I really like it. This is probably the most popular David Brown out there for, I mean, as far as longevity of them being built and number of them sold. I think these were probably most popular from the Implematics series, which was the red and yellow. There was the early Select-O-Matics, which were white and brown. And then if you're here in the States, there could have been some Implematics with white and brown tin. The rest of the world got the updated Select-O-Matic 990s when they went to white and brown. The US got whatever parts were left of the Implematic rear ends with the new 449 engine. And then the 449, I mean 4 cylinders, 49 cubes per cylinder. Comes out to like 195 or something. I don't remember. 96. This one's like 201 now that we bored it out. But anyway, these are, and then this was the latest generation of them, and then this became the 1290/1390 later on. But yeah, they're a great little tractor, and so I guess we've only put around 250 hours on this since we've been through it. It had like 700 and some when we got it. But it's got a few leaks here and there, but again, it's far from the worst. It's got 3-point hitch on it, 2-speed PTO, 12-speed 2-stick transmission. I mean, it's all decked out, and it's a really fun tractor to drive. Thanks for watching, guys. We will get back to this project once I have a little more time on my hands. I'm actually going to work on my Cropmaster and my 950 right now, and hopefully as Dad tears into this, we'll have some content on this, because these are a neat tractor that not everybody understands. I don't understand a whole lot about the Case-O-Matic either. So this will be a learning experience for all of us, I guess. And then we've got some big updates coming to the channel. We purchased a newer combine, and therefore have to change our planter setup. So you guys are going to probably be really confused with that, but you guys will like it, I think. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next one.